Robbie Katter, thank you for your time. As you travel around North Queensland, what is the biggest issue or concern that voters are raising with you?
I guess consistently, particularly in the bigger cities or the bigger towns, it would have to be crime, youth crime. It's been unabated for many years now, and I guess followed by the cost of living. A lot of people are doing it very tough, and that can be exacerbated when you come out to remote areas. Generally speaking, I feel like there's a lot of people shaking their fist at the sky who are pretty angry with governments in general.
Why then this week have you decided to make abortion law a priority?
Well, I didn't decide that. I got asked to respond in the media whether I'd put something in the Parliament, and because we're a party that acts on the values that we have, I responded as I always would by saying that if a proposition was put to us or there was an opportunity to progress something that aligns with our values, would I take it? The answer will always be yes. And you can cut and paste abortion with vegetation management laws or climate tax or whatever you like. We will always act on the things we stand for and the principles. They mightn't be for everyone, and some of those might be controversial, but we're upfront about those, which is a lot more I can say than the major parties.
Have you had any LNP members come to you since you declared that you would put a private member's bill into the Parliament to repeal abortion laws?
No, and again, I'll just remind people that I haven't put one media release out on this to make that declaration. I responded to people saying, would you do that? And I said, of course I would. And so I haven't, and nor would I expect many people. Most MPs, particularly in the major parties, are scared to touch the issue. I think what we're seeing here is the usual dog whistling you see out of the majors who try and ride two horses at once on an issue, trying to grab votes in the regional areas and maintain some votes in the city areas. Just
to be clear, it is your intention to repeal the abortion laws in the next term of Parliament?
So one thing I can absolutely guarantee is the bill that I put in the last Parliament will be going straight back in. If there was an opportunity to wind back some or all of those laws, we would certainly look at it, and that would be according to what the composition of the Parliament is. But we're not always going to go on fool's errands either and put something in if there's clearly going to be no one to vote for it. So it comes after a discussion with people. But what I'm trying to say is, don't let fear stop us, and let's be clear on our position on these things. We're very much a pro-life party, and we make no apology for that.
So if we do wind up with the hung Parliament and you find yourself in a position of power, have you got your list of demands ready to put to the major parties?
Well, those priorities that we have been sitting there for a long time. We're not going to invent a whole list of new ones because it's a hung Parliament, so I'll just be gathering together with whatever troops we've got on the ground and collaborating with them primarily to see what are some priorities and how do we link that with the prosperity of all of Queensland.
Is abortion law among the list of demands?
It's one of the policy positions we have on a number of values that we have in the party. So we're not a single issue party, and we've got some big infrastructure projects that rate very highly in our list, and certainly we'd like to see more moves towards self-governance in North Queensland, so that's always also a big priority for us. So it would be unfair to say that would be our main priority going the election, but I mean, again, I'm not going to walk away from it.
Robbie Katter there speaking to us from Mount Isa. Well, to the opposite end of the state now, and the opposite side of the political spectrum, the Greens hold 2 seats in the Queensland Parliament. Amy McMahon is the Greens MP for South Brisbane and joins me. Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We've heard Robbie Katter say that if he sees the opportunity to overturn or try to overturn Queensland's abortion laws, he'll do it. What's your view on that?
This is horrifying, particularly horrifying given that neither Labor or the LNP have been able to categorically guarantee that their MPs won't vote to recriminalise abortion. The Greens are entirely committed to making sure that abortion remains accessible and free to any Queenslander who needs it.
Early voting opens on Monday. How confident are you feeling about retaining your seat, given that you won't be getting LNP preferences this time like you did last time?
Yeah, we have been getting great feedback on the ground in South Brisbane. When people get Greens representation, they like it and they tend to keep it. We've been getting good feedback from people saying that they appreciate the work that we've been doing, fighting for the community, and on the back of that, we are on track to win 4 additional seats.
What makes you think that? Because at the council elections, the Greens were sort of talking up their chances, but it didn't really pan out that way. So what makes you feel so confident at a state level?
At the council level, we saw huge swings to the Greens right across the city, and based on the door knocking and the conversations we've been having with people one-on-one, people are seeing that things have gotten tougher under Labor. No one thinks the LNP will actually do a better job.
In August, you attended a rally in support of the CFMEU. Will they be campaigning for you?
No.
Why did you attend that rally?
The Greens find it very important that we stand on the side of regular workers. We stand on the side of workers who have done nothing wrong. Of course, we fully oppose thuggery and violence and sexism.
And that's what this union's been accused of.
We're standing on the side of everyday workers who haven't done anything wrong, who have been denied the right to a democratic union. These workers deserve to have representatives who will be standing on their side.
This union's also facing allegations of infiltration by criminal gangs and bikie gangs.
The Greens categorically oppose any kind of violence, sexism, and the involvement of other parties in the unions. And we have been saying that all those issues need to be pursued through the courts, as was going on, and we will continue to be advocating for that.
Can I ask about the Olympics? We know that you fought against the Gabba rebuild plan. What stadium option do you support?
We need to see that the Olympics is actually going to be able to unroll in a way that is affordable, that isn't going to waste public money, and that isn't going to come at the cost of green space or local schools.
Do you have a proposal though, an option to put forward?
We've been proposing looking at existing venues that we've already got, looking at places like Carrara Stadium, looking at existing venues that fit within the ethos of the new norm that we're meant to be following with the Olympics. I think in the middle of a cost of living crisis and a housing crisis, Queenslanders don't want to see billions of dollars spent on white elephant pieces of infrastructure.
Do you think the Olympics should go ahead?
I think if the major parties can't demonstrate that they can proceed with the Olympics in a way that is cost effective, maybe they need to go back to Queenslanders and ask whether we want this at all.
So if we wind up in a hung parliament and you find yourself with some bargaining power, what's the top priority for the Greens?
We'll be fighting for a freeze and cap on rent increases. We'll be fighting for a public bank to give people cheaper mortgages. We'll be fighting to roll out free GP clinics right across the state. We'll be fighting to build 100,000 public homes across Queensland.
Amy McMahon, thank you.
Thank you.